So if there is two ways of having money partners, right? One aspect, they can be what's called a private lender. They're just lending you money, you give them a promissory note. With that type of person, I just pay them an interest rate. I try to keep it somewhere between 7%, maybe as high as 11%, 12%, and that's it. Interest only payments. And with those type of people, you always want to under promise but over deliver. And I do this intentionally. I'll say, yeah, I'll give you an interest rate of 9%, and I'll pay you back in 2 years, the principal in full. But in the interim, I'm just going to give you interest only payments. But instead of paying them off in 2 years, my goal when I do find a deal is to pay them off in 18 months. And not at 11% interest, but at 13% interest. So I can sell. Oh man, this deal came out real good, man. It was better than what I expected. In fact, here's your money early, plus I want to give you some more, because I appreciate you lending me this money. What does he want to do next?
Give it back.
Another deal.
So more money, and he's going to invite more money partners. To the point where my last 9 unit I did in January 2017, one of my partners, Rob, he's like, man, I actually know a guy named Howard in New York City. He's in Queens or Long Island, I forgot. But he's like, yo, how about you and I do a partnership, Juan? You find a deal like you always been doing, and I bring Howard to the table, and he finances all the down payment, soft costs, and closing costs. I said, all right, Rob, that's cool. And we split the syndication. This is called a general partnership 50-50. Meaning if I put a deal together, I'm guaranteed 20% ownership. Just for me putting my time to the table. Plus I get an acquisition fee, 1% to 3% of the purchase price. So in this deal, the purchase price is $350, and I get a 1% acquisition fee, you're gonna pay me $3,500. So I'm like, why wholesale a property if you can find a property and just hold it? I don't like wholesale. Wholesale is cool, but I'm like, I'd rather just get some equity. I'm not trying to hit it and quit, I'm trying to stay and play. I want to stay with the property. I'm trying to stay and play. Right? I don't want to get some one-time fee if I'm doing all this legwork. Right? Don't get me wrong, you could wholesale it, but I'd rather just, hey, give me equity. Okay, so Howard was cool with it, and Rob was the one who structured that because I made sure I paid Rob for 4 times and more than what I expected. Then after that, we also have what's called equity partners, right? Equity partners are people who actually own equity in the property. Now that's negotiable, right? But what I try to sell them on is a cash or cash return. You know, like, hey, I can give you a cash or cash return of 10% or up to 15%. I always look for an asset that gives a cash or cash return of 50% or higher, if not infinite, if you use 100% finance. But it's all negotiable, all negotiable. It just depends on what your partner brings to the table. If you're just a drug dealer, you just got a ton of cash in your mattress, cool. You just can get paid as a limited partner, and that's it. But hey, if you bring your credit to the table and you got some cash, well, yeah, you deserve more pay. And what I do with my deal, I teach this in the program, the cash flow. I get paid 5 ways off every multifamily deal I do. What's one way? I dated some of you already. What's one way you get paid from a multifamily?
Acquisition fee.
Acquisition.
Percentage.
This is at closing.
Only if it closes.
Yep, so it's 1 to 3%.
Kind of like a real estate agent.
Yep, correct. Or like your wholesale fee. Yep.
Leasing the contract.
Say that again?
Leasing the contract?
No. So acquisition fee, I also talked about I'm getting 19 to 20% ownership just for structuring the deal. So I also get equity. And I'll get 19% of equity and cash flow. Okay. Perpetually, just for putting the deal together. None of my money's at the table. In fact, I made money and I get paid. And you got to be able to sell, that's the thing. Because they'll say, oh, if I'm bringing all the money to the table, why do you think? I'm like, bro, are you bringing any time to the table? I mean, you got a 9 to 5, right? Do you go to your job and work for free? So why do you expect me to put all this work in for free? I got to get paid for my sweat equity too. Sweat equity too, yeah. If I'm bringing all these tools to the table, and by the way, I'm bringing the mortgage to the table, I'm bringing the real estate agent, I'm quarterbacking the whole ordeal. So that's the point of those calls I talked about. So you're telling them, whoa, this dude is doing a lot of stuff. Yeah, he definitely deserves it. But it's you educating the consumer. If they don't know all the stuff they're going to be doing, then they'll have some pushback in regard to these 2 things. But as I said, do the 2-day calls. Tuesdays, every other Tuesday, whatever. You're selling them. They just don't know about it. Okay. What's another way? Another way, I'm a limited partner myself. So I'll say, hey, I'm investing my own capital into this deal, just to let you know that I had some skin in the game. And I'm letting you know I'm not just trying to just get my money up here and not participate in it. I'm gonna put some of my own cash up. And I'm gonna get paid a return on my capital invested as a limited partner. Another way, you have a question? Now I found this way, this is another way I do it. So this is general partner here. This is GP. You pay the general partner, limited partner, property management. So of course, I'm gonna have my own property management company to manage the property. And I'm gonna get paid, which I charge 8% in the first month's rent. So my property management company gets paid. And last, I started this one for the last deal I did in November. This was something new. I call it JP Financing. So I said, you know what? I'll loan my money to the entity as well. So just like seller financing, where you have to pay me back 5% interest, amortized over 10 years, and I wanted my balloon payment at 5 years. So I was a lender to my own multifamily property. So this is all in November, 2 months ago. Right? And my partners are cool with it. You get me? This stuff is easy. You just gotta spend the time watching the stuff over and over and over and over again, and then start doing it. I'm a young guy. I'm 34 years old. Quit my job at 30. Started when I was 26. But I used my spare time wisely to make myself wealthy. All right, I'm a living testament that this stuff is real. You just gotta bring the burning desires to the table. Okay. Any other questions?
I currently have a property under contract right now, and the seller is motivated. He's an older gentleman, he's in the city. He managed the property, and my thing is he's dealing with an agent, and he was like, I really don't want to work with them. Honestly, they're taking too long. It's like he just wants to like give them their cut at the end of the deal. How should I work with them, knowing that it's listed, and he's trying to like get the agent off of the property?
What's your exit strategy? Are you trying to wholesale it?
Yeah.
And is the agent getting in the way?
No, she's not.
Oh, you gotta get the agent on board. So it's kind of like what I did with the lease option, where the agent was not necessarily needed to the point of just to be my salesman. Like, hey, I need to sell this one. So you need to get the agent on board to meet up with the seller as well.
Right, I made that note too earlier. You mentioned that to communicate with the agent and see if it's better that way.
Yeah, let the agent know that, hey, I'm a consistent buyer. Even though you might be wholesaling, let them know that you're a buyer, and I'm going to give you repeat business. So you want to work with me based upon my terms. All right, so do me a favor and say this to the seller. Hey, do me a favor, any deal that comes across your pocket, send them to me first. You always got to get the agent on board. Gotcha. Great questions, though. Any other questions? Does it feel like information overload? It's a lot. It is a lot of information, right? But trust me, you'll be able to speak the language. Like the first time I went to a networking event, I felt like a 5th grader in a college course. Trust me. When I met Dwayne, I didn't know what this dude was talking about. And again, I had econ. I was an econ major in statistics, but I had no clue what this guy was talking about. However, I felt like I belonged, and I kept showing up. Again, the consistent 6. I kept showing up. Month in, month out, asking questions, and this is one thing I do at my networking events, which I recommend you do. When I was networking actively, as I was there was a guy by the name of Steve. And Steve, he was my age, and he was talking about a 6-unit he just purchased out of state. I just thought that was just amazing. Like, for one, you're my age. For 2, you bought a multifamily property. For 3, out of state. And part of being in the group, if you had a deal, you had to share it, just so you can get some good feedback and whatever. And also, for newbies like myself, it was a learning experience, a live case study, so we all benefited. So after Steve was finished, I kid you not, I tagged him, hey, what's up, how you doing? I'm Juan, what's your name?
I'm Mita.
Hey, pleased to meet you. What are you doing directly after this event?
Going to dinner.
Oh, well, he didn't say that. He was like, well, nothing, man. what's up? What's up? I said, man, I would love to treat you out for lunch. You interested? She was like, sure. Took him out to lunch immediately. Didn't know the guy. First time meeting him. Went to lunch and I asked him about the 3 M's. The money, the model, and the market. The money. Yo, where do you get the money to finance your deals? Oh, what I do is I get 80% through a mortgage. Well, what mortgage do you use? Oh, I use First Commonwealth Bank. Who do you use there? Dan, here's his number. So I got how you finance and his contact. Then I said, okay, cool. What about the other 20%? You said 80% came from a mortgage. Oh, I always negotiate seller financing. Really? Yeah, well, multifamily, they're receptive to you doing 10% seller financing. Oh, I didn't know. So I got 90%. What about the other 10%? Oh, I use limited partners. I can't use limited partners now because I don't have the credibility. I don't have any deals. So maybe I have to do a couple of deals by myself before I can entertain limited partnerships. So outside the money, I got the information on how he got the capital and some contacts. And I said, okay, the money, what about your business model? Oh, I do 5 units and up. Why? Like I mentioned, they're very lenient where their underwriting is concerned. They're receptive to credit financing and ATP partnerships. Right? Then he says, in my business model, I do 5 to 20 units, and I do about $25,000 to $35,000 per door is the purchase price. At C areas, 10% cap rates. We're just having lunch. Okay. Yeah. That's why I say you don't go to networking events to get info. You go to networking events to get contacts. And you treat them out to lunch and your drinks, I prefer, and you pick their brains. Because when they start having some liquor in the system, they become yeah. So that's it. That's talking about the model. Then I said about the market. I said, well, why in this market? Oh, because it's low income, it's low crime. They actually had Google move into this area. They have they're growing with economic concerns, so there's a lot of job growth. That's when the housing market is booming. You know, because economics, you have an increase in demand, but if the supply stays stagnant, where there's no new development, then you get to raise your prices. It's all economic issue, right? So I'm like, whoa, so you invest in this market, who finds you deals in this market? Oh man, this wholesaler named Tom. You have his information? I kid you not, no fabrication, right? And that became my start of me investing out of state.
So you bought from wholesalers?
Yeah, multiple times, yeah. Wholesalers, I bought from wholesalers. Now I send my own direct mail campaigns out myself. And now I just pretty much work with real estate agents now. But yeah, I work with pretty much it all. Drove for dollars, send out direct mail campaigns, work with wholesalers and real estate agents to find deals. Personally.